I can't.
TV pay for it. I can't. I guarantee it.
Calm down. Calm down, brother.
Lamont Roach, we saw the first fight. Lamont Roach shocked the world. What do you think happens in a rematch if they fight?
I think he shocks the world again.
But at the same time, I think Roach fought at his peak. You know, I don't think he can fight better than that.
But do you believe...
In a move that has stirred the boxing world, Gervonta Davis has openly fired back at his former promoter and mentor, Floyd Mayweather Jr., after the boxing legend showed support for Lamont Roach ahead of Davis's anticipated rematch with Roach. The fiery reaction from Davis signals escalating tensions not only between him and Roach, but also with Mayweather, reigniting a long-simmering feud that goes back to their complex history within Mayweather Promotions. Gervonta Davis was once viewed as the crown jewel of Floyd Mayweather's promotional stable. The Baltimore-born knockout artist was directly mentored by Mayweather and is often hailed as the next big PPV star to follow in his mentor's footsteps. For years, the pair looked inseparable. Mayweather regularly cornered Davis during fights, offered him lavish gifts, and publicly supported him as boxing's next megastar. However, cracks in their relationship began to show as Davis got increasingly independent. Complaints of micromanagement, miscommunications, and public spats hinted at behind-the-scenes friction. Davis eventually parted ways with Mayweather Promotions. In 2022, choosing to handle his career more independently with PBC facilitating his matchups. Fast forward to 2025, and Davis is gearing up for one of the most personal fights of his career, a repeat with Lamont Roach, a slick technician and former Mayweather-advised fighter. While their first fight ended in a controversial decision, Roach has since demanded redemption, earning a rematch. If you like this, please subscribe, Fight File, and click the bell icon for more new boxing updates.
Tank want a rematch. Do you let me know now? Do you want to fight Tank again? He said he open to do a rematch. Do you want to fight Tank
100%.
again?
It's only a matter of time. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight again. It's just whenever the fight gonna happen.
So it's gonna happen.
It's going to happen.
Okay. They say they want it in New York again. Do you want to fight again in the Barclays Center?
I wouldn't mind, but I'd love for it to be in DC.
Okay.
I'd love for it to be in DC.
Things took an unexpected turn earlier this week when Floyd Mayweather officially voiced his support for Lamont Roach during an Instagram live session. Mayweather's words, although measured, were seen as a sharp slight by Gervonta Davis, who took the comments as an intentional betrayal from someone he once called a father figure and never wanted to bite his tongue. Gervonta Davis hit back with a scathing post in a follow-up interview with Showtime Boxing. Davis doubled down. Floyd's been hating, man. The emotional outburst shows just how personal this upcoming fight has become. It's no longer just about titles or rankings. It's now a battle for pride, loyalty, and redemption from a boxing psychology viewpoint. Mayweather's support for Roach may play into mind games. Whether intentional or not, it puts Davis, known for fighting with raw emotion, under intense public scrutiny. Davis may need to maintain control to avoid allowing personal feelings to cloud his performance in the ring. For Roach, Mayweather's endorsement is a strategic confidence boost. It adds credibility to his camp, elevates his profile ahead of the PPV event, and mentally frames him as the chosen fighter against a superstar with everything to lose. This new drama between Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather is more than just boxing beef. It's a reflection of mentorship gone awry, generational pride, and the brutal individualism of the sport, with Mayweather now seen as indirectly opposing. His former protege Davis going into the ring not just to defend his record, but to reclaim his narrative. We just got a glimpse into Tank's training camp for the fight.
We did how many rounds? We probably did at least like 8 straight.
Yeah, but you in the back for about 8-2.
Yeah.
You're not.
Meanwhile, Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis are at last set to run it back. The boxing scene has verified that the WBA lightweight title rematch is officially set to headline the August 16th PBC on Prime Video pay-per-view card, while TGB Promotions currently has T-Mobile Arena Y in Las Vegas reserved for the event. The final location has yet to be confirmed at the time of publication. Matthew Bellini Brown of Brunch Boxing was the first to announce the second act's date on March 1st. Roan Davis fought to a majority draw at Brooklyn, New York's Barclays Center. The venue was initially in the running to host the rematch when plans were first set for a mid to late June date. However, current expectations point to Las Vegas as the frontrunner, with either the T-Mobile Arena or MGM Grand Garden Arena likely to land the event, with a rematch reportedly scheduled for August in Las Vegas. Terrence Crawford gave his thoughts on how the second fight might play out. Speaking to ring champs with O and Barack, he voiced doubt that Roach would be able to better his performance. From their first encounter, Crawford said that he thought people were going to see a better version of Tank, but at the same time, he believed Roach had fought at his peak and didn't think Roach could perform better than that. He agreed that Roach could definitely have Tank's number, but noted that it didn't mean Tank would fight the same way. Crawford explained that Tank could let his hands go more, stressing that it was part of the mental game. He pointed out that when Tank was hitting Roach or when Roach was blocking, it was just 1 or 2 shots, and stressed that Tank needed to start picking up the pace and putting in combinations.
The phrase when people say, he got his number.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a real thing, and could it be possible that Roach has his number?
Definitely. Roach can definitely have his number, but that don't mean that Tank will come in there fighting the same fight.
But what could he do different? Because when I watched
he can let his hands go more.
But I think at times he did, and then he was being met and countered with answers back every time. So people are not used to seeing Tank in that space, because when he lands those shots, they usually end the fight, but they weren't hurting Roach.
But that's the thing. That's the mental game of it. You know, when he was hitting Roach or Roach was blocking, he'd hit dum-dum with like 1 or 2 shots.
Right.
You know, you gotta start picking it up and throw more multiple
combinations. Yeah.
Additionally, the boxing scene has found that the event is one of at least 3 high-end shows that PBC has scheduled for the upcoming months, as mentioned earlier. July 19th is emerging as the likely date for the much-anticipated WBC welterweight title fight between Mario Barrios and boxing legend Manny Pacquiao. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, matchmaking efforts are intensifying to secure an opponent for undefeated 2-division champion and current WBC light heavyweight title award holder David Benavidez, with plans taking shape for a headlining fight later in October or November. The Davis-Roach bout stirred plenty of debate. Yet the final tally of 115-113 for Davis, with 2 even scores of 114-114, correctly reflected the action inside the ropes, while some argued Roach had done enough to earn the win. The result wasn't widely seen as a robbery by impartial fans and analysts. Roach was the subject of dubious officiating during a moment in the 9th round that should have changed the course of the bout. Roach, a native of the greater Washington, D.C. area, hit a sharp jab halfway through the 9th round. In reaction, Baltimore's Davis glanced over at referee Steve Willis, then pivoted away and dropped to one knee. No knockdown was ruled during the sequence, and in a rare moment, Davis was allowed to call his own break, so co-trainer Calvin Ford could wipe away what he claimed were hair products that had dripped into his eye, briefly affecting his vision. Willis's punishment amounted to little more than a harsh scolding given face-to-face. Davis, on the other hand, escaped with a mere slap on the wrist, despite the fact that his actions could have earned disqualification. Cornermen are strictly barred from stepping onto the ring apron mid-round unless clearly called in by an official. Furthermore, the New York State Athletic Commission was reportedly unable to access instant replay because they did not receive footage from the Prime Video production truck before the 10th round started. Roach lost a 108 round as a result of all those reasons. Davis got 2 of the 3 official cards with scores of 10. 9 Roach, the reigning WBA junior lightweight champion who stepped up and waited for the bout, couldn't quite seize the moment entirely and eventually walked away with a moral victory, battling Davis to a hard-fought draw. The capacity crowd of 19,500 voiced its displeasure with the result, showering the choice with boos. Still, the underdog defied predictions, and his gritty performance sent his image skyrocketing. Nevertheless, Roach is ready to put up a fight. In the upcoming rematch, man, I'm so excited about this. Oh, it's part 2, and it's time to boogie once again. Roach told Boxing Scene and Pro Box TV of the contractually bound rematch itself, though he was not in a position to confirm the reported date. Both fighters were ready to continue with a rematch despite Roach's camp filing an official protest over the previously mentioned issues that occurred in the ring. The New York State Athletic Commission reviewed the case, recognized the missed knockdown call, but ultimately decided to let the original decision stand. Throughout his career, Davis has primarily been guided by Ford, but it was seasoned cornerman Barry Hunter who stepped up to lead during the recent camp, and on fight night, the undefeated two-division champion has remained tight-lipped about the timing of the rematch and has yet to reveal who will head the team for the next preparation. His foe doesn't care about that part. Whoever he may have in his corner might try to make adjustments from the first fight and do certain things. But we're going to be ready to tackle the issue of taking the belt from the champ, said Roach, who is guided by his father, Lamont Roach Sr., adding, some of the close rounds in the first fight were scored unnecessarily for him when he wasn't really doing anything. We're going to come back with some new things, too. My tool bag is big. I'm going to show variety. I'm going to show strength, endurance, and the will of a fighter.